Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, and today we'll be doing a video on the Victory Blueprint event starting later at Store Reset. And let me start off by saying that this one in particular is pretty crap. It is a bit lengthy, believe it or not, as far as the math is concerned, because it is going to depend on a few set of factors, some which are actually a bit beyond your control at this point in time, and another one being the main one that is within your control. I have set out a few extra scenarios as well, depending on what might be closest to your situation, but I apologize if it doesn't cover everyone, because it will largely depend on what your war league is at this time and how much energy you're willing to spend on a daily basis. The rewards are actually, they're okay. They're fairly good in terms of the limited time T2 or Tier 2 level 4 IONS, which is more than they said in the blog post as well. So we'll touch on this before we jump to the math. So without further ado, let's get this show started. Okay, so we're going to start off here in the Victory Blueprint preview here, which luckily they have given us before the event started, so I was able to do this stuff and, the math and the spreadsheet and the video before it goes live for you guys, so that you can kind of get an idea of what's going to be happening. So the main scoring for this, and we're going to, get to the spreadsheet for this. It's weird, and so there's a couple of things I want to say before we really get into it. The first is, if you haven't already, save your war energy refills. So I'm currently, as we speak, in a war, and so when this event goes live, I'm not actually going to be in a war. However, I'll have just finished a war recently, and so what I recommend you doing, and I'm not sure if this is going to count towards the milestone, is if you haven't, if you've been able to do this before watching my video, that's great. Save the war mail that you're going to get in your inbox that's going to have all your war rewards, because it says that you get milestone points for earning war credits, and I don't know when that's going to be attributed. I think that might be when you actually collect your war resources. And if that's the case, then you're going to get 2 points times, whatever, the 4,000, 5,000 war credits, depending on your win and loss, times 2, which could give you anywhere from like a 9,000 to like a 10,000 milestone point bump at the start, before, just at the start of the event, if you're able to hold this mail before it goes, or just as it goes live, and then you claim it then. This could give you quite a reasonable head start, which is going to be really important, because the math for this event sucks. It really does. You're also getting points for spending war energy refills. This is the currency that you use to do extra attacks. So, they cost as far as I'm aware, 150, 200, 250, and 300, I think. It goes up like that. If I'm mistaken, please correct me. I haven't been paying attention to my war. I think that's how much it costs. That's not the important part, but you are, well, it is actually. You're getting 20 points per one currency. So for 150 for your first refill, you're getting 20 times 150 points. We're gonna break all that down later, anyways. And then of course you're gonna get some points for spending campaign energy, and so this is really going to depend on how many power cores that you are willing to spend. In terms of what you get, the main rewards out of this, frankly, are, well, there's actually these new Legacy 3 orbs. Now, as of recording this video, they are not in the store, so I have no idea what's in them. I don't know what's going to be in. I think there's a total of 5 through the majority of this. You're going to get emblems, of course, and I've also counted that as well in terms of what you're going to get, but the majority of it is the T2 level 4 ions. Now, in the blog post, they said that we were only going to get get enough for 1.5 characters, but there's actually enough in here for 3, so there's actually twice as many ions as they said in the blog, but some of it is locked behind what I'm gonna say is kind of whale and krakening. I honestly, if you go through this whole thing, the Jessica Jones jacket, this is, by the way, at 103k at milestone 30. It says it if you click on it, but there's no photo for it for whatever reason. So that's going to be the goal that we want to hit. And just like when we did the other one, the Madeline Pryor event, right? This is kind of the main goal that you want to get to, because this is going to give you the burst points for the A-Force event, which is going to give you 8,000 for this Jessica Jones jacket. So this is kind of where you want to get to. Now, where I think we might get to, some people might get to, is kind of this Milestone 32, and this is the 130k range. I think anything beyond this, 33, 34, and 35, I think you're getting into whale and kraken territory, you know, massive energy coring, or, you know, you're in a platinum, not platinum, diamond war league. Like, it has to be really high based on the scoring that you get for that, and it doesn't look very good here. Now we'll get to what you're missing out though in terms of that. I've broken this all down as well, so I just wanted to share this milestone with you, give you a little bit of a heads up before we jump over to the math, which is now. So this is the victory blueprint milestone that the spreadsheet. Also, the spreadsheet will be available in the description down below of the video, and also on my Discord server a little bit after the release of this video. So this is a 7-day solo milestone. Total amount of milestone points that you need for this event is 190,000. There is about 1,302 A-Force emblems in this event. And to get all of them, you need to reach milestone 31 for 114,000. That's not right, actually. There's another 186 here in that. I don't know if I counted that in this calculation, actually, now that I think about it, but I really don't think the majority of, I honestly think like maybe less than 5% or less of players will even hit this milestone 33. To me, it seems a bit hard to get to based on the calculations that I've done. I'm not sure if this is with that milestone 33 or not, but I'm reasonably suggesting that people should be able to get to milestone 31, which is about 114,000 points. I should have done my triple checking here before I started this. But the Jessica Jones jacket milestone is 103,000, and the 54% is actually that it's only 54% the way through the milestone, because there's 190,000 points total. So that's what it kind of represents about its total from, you know, that between these two numbers. Basically, the campaign energy. Now that you've seen this before in a lot of other videos that I've done with campaign energy and what I kind of expect people to spend daily. So I have about 868 energy daily. This is only with 2 refreshes, so 240 energy coming from cores or your packs, your energy packs or whatever. You get 5 points per 1 energy. So this 868, you know, if you were to convert this into points, this would give you about 4,340 daily points. You can see the energy sources here if you care. And then that would convert into 30,380 points over 7 days. Now, this, if you see any of these percentages, this is the percentage of it compared to the total. So the 190,000. So this represents basically about 16% of the total amount of points that you need for that. You'll see later on that that's not enough, and I've done some other scenarios for different energy refreshes. So down here you can see that this is how much points and how much energy and how much points you're going to be getting if you do 6 refreshes. So instead of 2, you're actually taking this, and I'm adding 480 energy on top. So it's going from 868 here to 1,348. Now keep in mind, this is like 400 cores daily. The only reason why I did this was because I wanted to see, like, if we thought about this in the context of like event campaign coring, that's the kind of level that I was thinking about and how much difference the points would make. So this turns into about 6,740 daily, and over 7 days, 47,180. And that's, you can see the percentage wise is a 9% difference for the total score, and about 17,000 points. But you'll see that this is only a fraction of what you need in order to make it up, and a lot of it, unfortunately, does come from war elements. Fortunately. So let's talk about the war energy refill stuff. You get 20 per currency, and I'm pretty sure, and please correct me if I'm wrong about where the jumps are in the refills. I'm pretty sure it's 150, 200, 250, 300. I don't, you know, because I'm currently in a war, I'm pretty sure that's what it's at. Let me know if it jumps any steeper than that and I got the numbers wrong here. But so that, 2 refills, that'd be 150 and then 200, which would be equivalent to 350 of the currency, not points. And then if you did 4 refills, well, that's 850 currency. And so I did basically the point calculations for both 2 refills and 4 refills, and you get about 7,000 for that, you know, which is 350 times 20, and then 850 times 20. And then that gives you this value here. And so over 7 days. Now this, of course, is over 3 wars. It's a 7-day milestone. I'm pretty sure you're not getting 4 wars in. I don't think so, because for me, my war ends. My current war is ending before the event starts. So I think still it's only 3 wars for everyone. And so that basically I multiply these numbers by 3, and you get 21,000 if you only do 2 refills every war, you know, for the 3 wars, and then 51,000 points, which is crazy. over 4 refills. Now, I want to say that 4 refills every war is very hard to do. Because you only get, if I remember correctly, if I can jump back really quickly here, into the store, and I think I already took mine from the refresh, but, you know, you get 75 of these per store reset, which means that you're getting about 225 per day without refreshing the Blitz store. So, I don't think that you're actually going to get enough to be able to do 4 refills per day, or, sorry, per war for the rest of the week, which would be that times 3. Right, so that's 2,650 currency. Okay, I'm pretty sure that's the number. 850 times 3. 2550. Sorry, I had to do that in my head really quick. So my point is that you're not going to get that much through the store unless you're refreshing the Blitz store. So I don't know how reasonable it is to do 4 refills every single war, but this is how much points you will get if you do it. I think what's more reasonable is probably 3 refreshes, and I should have had a number for that, but know that it's going to be somewhere between 21,000 and 51,000. Most likely it's going to be, 50% more, right? Which would be about 36,000. That's probably the amount of points that's between the difference between this, if you do the math. And so the whole point of this is that it makes a difference. War refills make a huge difference in the point structure for this. And if you were to do 4 refills, that would get you about 27% of the total points that you need. Now, the other part, this is going to get a bit confusing, so I'm going to zoom in a little bit here. And this is earning war credits. Okay, so I've done this with the assumption that, for me, I'm in a Platinum 2 league. I've also done another one over here if you're in Gold 4. If you're less than this, then the points are going to be even less. So a Platinum 2 war win is 5250 credits, and then a Platinum 2 war loss is 4725. I've gone on the assumption that you might win 2 wars and 1 losses. I know it goes between a 50% win ratio, but, you know, that's what it is that I've decided for the week. It's not a huge difference in the war credits regardless. So you want to take this, and I've also added on the KO credits. And so I've kind of assumed that you've gotten 40 KOs, which is essentially 40 kills or about 8 rooms cleared. And that'll get you about this much war credits over 3 wars, okay? And so I've added this 4320 with this 15225, and that gets you 19,545. Multiply it by 2 because of the war credit ratio there, and you get 39,100 points, more or less. And that represents about 21% of the total milestone, okay? And so if we go over here, and I do the exact same thing. I break down the same thing here, just in Gold 4, pause the video if you want to, look up the numbers. And basically it varies a little bit. 3% difference here, 34,780 versus 39,000. So that's the difference between Gold 4 and Platinum 2. It's not that significant. You're doing the exact same thing, the 40 KOs, blah, 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 if you want to go over there and pause it. And so if you add all of this up, we zoom out. So I've essentially added up some of these different scenarios. And let's scroll down a little bit. So this is the total milestone points if you do 2 energy refreshes for the coring and 2 war refills every war. And you get about 90,000 points. That's not enough to get you the Jessica Jones jacket, which is super important because that's going to be the most important to the A Force of Nature event milestone. Now, and if you're doing 6 energy refreshes and 2 war refills, then you're getting 107,270 points. And this does get you to the Jessica Jones jacket milestone. That's why I said yes, no, yes, yes. But if you do 2 energy refreshes and 4 war refills, you get 120,000. So you can see that the difference actually, you could save cores, maybe, if you do more war refills, right? Instead of having to spend the energy. So the whole point here is that the war related aspects is actually worth more than the energy coring. Now, there are some instances where, you may need to spend cores to refresh the Blitz store to buy more war currency. And I haven't broken down the difference. I'll admit I haven't broken down the difference between spending your cores on the Blitz store to get the war energy refreshes to do this. But I will tell you that it is probably better. I know that's not a vote of confidence. I should have done that, and that's my fault. But the points really here show that you are getting more points overall for doing war refills than energy refreshes. But if you do here, this is 6 energy refreshes. This is the 400 cores daily and the 4 war refills, and that gets you about to 137,000. Now, all of this is assuming Platinum 2, not Gold 4. And so you can see that this 137,000 kind of gets you to that milestone that we talked about before, which was like Milestone 32. Because I believe that Milestone 33 was like 144k, which means that you'd have to do even more energy refreshes than this, which just really seems not great. And so what do you get, you know, from all of this? And so I kind of broke this down. You know, this is the Milestone 32 that you get with 130k points. And what are you getting? Well, you're getting, you know, a lot of T2 level 4 ions. You're getting roughly around 1.04 million T2 level 4 ions, and this equates to about 2.5 or 2.5, sorry, T2 character upgrades. And you also get 4,200 Crucible credits and 5 Legacy 3 orbs. It's roughly about 415,000, not 50, to upgrade one character to T2 level 4. So you can kind of just roughly do the math. It's approximately 2.5. So what are you missing for all of the milestones that are past that? Well, you're missing 186 emblems that we talked about before. You're also missing 330,000 T2 level 4 ions. You know, that would probably bridge the gap here to about 3 full upgrades. And there's a bunch of other random junk. Now, do you need to go all this way? No. What I do personally recommend is trying to get to this milestone, which is the 103,000 that you need to get to for the Jessica Jones milestone. So scenario like this, or somewhere in between, right? Like something like 3 to 4 energy refreshes and 3 war refills will most likely get you to this Jessica Jones jacket anyways. And these are the kind of scenarios, something that's not this one here. You're going to need to do more than 2 energy refreshes and 2 war refills in order to get to that 103,000. And that's kind of the goal that you want to do. And that's what I'm kind of setting out for you all. Now, hopefully you can get there. You know, if not, it sucks. The event sucks. You know, unfortunately, I don't really have much else to tell you on that one. But I've gone, if you guys remember, I've done updates to this is the A Force of Nature event. I've added in the points that you're getting from the victory blueprints that are available in the emblems and the Jessica Jones jacket. I've added up those, the 1,302 and the extra 8,000 points that you're getting from the Jessica Jones jacket, the points there. So that's 8,000 plus 1,300. That's roughly 9,300. Now, these are the total amount of emblems after this event that you can possibly get. I'm not saying everyone is going to have 22,318 points. I'm saying this is what's available without having to spend. So that's kind of the point that I'm trying to make here. I'll be doing a more specific update probably on the weekend because I've been doing this on a weekly basis. You can see that I have week 2 kind of set out here. We have Quick Rumble coming out on Thursday as well. And so I'm just kind of keeping a tally on the A Force of Nature emblems just to see where we're possibly at. And just for the record, you do need 29,500 to unlock Spider-Woman at the 3-star level. So we're still a ways out. We're not quite at that number yet, so which means that there's obviously more events to come on that. I know that this was a little bit complicated. There's a lot of stuff here. So if you want to take a look at this at your own time, like I said, this is going to be in the description below, and it's going to be on my Discord if you want to check it out. It's kind of complicated. Like I said, some is within your control. The campaign energy refreshes is within your control. To some degree, the war is as well, but the refills, maybe not. So it is a bit of a tougher event. It's probably going to disappoint a lot of people. So if you're not in the right area as far as war goes, if you didn't prepare properly with war energy refreshes, then you might be a bit effed. That's all I have to say, unfortunately. It's a sucky event, and not much more to say there. So that's everything, and hopefully you guys can get through this, and until next time, stay safe and healthy. I'll see y'all later. Boilon signing out.